Welcome back to Chrono Trigger for Moms. We're going to load back into the Faded Hour. We have a few more minor side quests and one more major side quest to do here. What happens if we just try to go into the castle? The Chancellor has ordered that the interior of the castle be sealed off until the trial is over. Trial? Ugh. Okay, that's strange. Well, there is something very unfortunate that's about to happen here, because we have to put Marl in the party for this next sequence. In fact, she needs to be in the front of the party. I think I'm going to go ahead and use... We'll do this. Seems pretty good. I want to make sure that my equipment is lined up. I haven't been bouncing equipment back and forth as required. Oh, for example, like she's not going to want to keep on this black gemstone. She's not going to be able to... Who is this Eternal Darkness? That's Magus and the girls, isn't it? Oh, you know what? She's not going to have the prereqs for it because she has, like, no spells whatsoever. Okay, so no, we're going to take that gemstone off. I'm going to give her... Flea Bustier is a potentiality. There's really nothing that's going to make her very useful here whatsoever. I'm going to go ahead and give her... You know what, we'll just give her this Flea Bustier. That'll, whatever magic attacks come out into Marl's face, then she's got plus 12 magic defense. Meanwhile, you don't need this blue gemstone because we can't have the robot in the party, so we're going to give you the Golden Stud. That reduces MP consumption by 75%. So instead of Flare being incredibly expensive, it will be incredibly cheap. And then you... I guess you could just keep the sunglasses. You're good. I had forgotten, did Magus... No, he's still working on his last tech anyway. He needs about 700 more TPs. But Luca's going to get us there. She's going to carry us home. Alright, I think one thing we need to do real quick, though, is pop a shelter. Get our nips back. And now we have Marl in the party. Let's try to keep me out. Just try to keep me out. The Chancellor has ordered that the last thing I said is also the thing that I'm saying right now. The trial of the century is about to begin. Whose, you ask? Why, King Guardia's, of course. Really? You're not gonna let me in? I have to go downstairs, maybe. Oh, there's new stairs. Wait a minute, we've changed history. Because we gave the rainbow shell over to the Guardians for safekeeping. This is the treasury. No entry permitted. Weird snake creatures are in the treasury, dude. Are we just gonna pretend like that's not happening? Same thing on the left. Wait, were there stairs over there before? There were and are stairs. There's gotta be a trigger NPC somewhere. How am I supposed to concentrate on my cooking with him staring at me? That's creepy. The Guardian soldiers need to have some sensitivity training, I believe. What if we try going up this way? The Chancellor has ordered that the interior of the castle is blocked off. And they won't even let the princess in. Okay, there's got to be a plot trigger that I've missed here. We have delivered the rainbow shell unto the Guardians. I shall have it brought to the castle and stored in our vault as a royal heirloom. I don't know what words of gratitude could possibly suffice for all you've done. Where's Frog? Oh, I guess we can swap Frog in for just a moment. Frog, so you aided Chrono and the others. You've done a fine service for this kingdom. Please, remain here for as long as you wish. We would be honored by your presence. I'm just kicking the frogs. Awesome. theme music again. Your kind words are reward enough, Your Majesty. My heart is glad to hear them. You want to talk to Magus now? Magus is with us. So yeah, the king is on trial, but why? We just need to figure out a way to get into the castle. I thought Marl just yelled at people to let her in. Sealed until the trial is over. The king's trial. Oh, there's boxes and stuff we haven't opened. It's locked. Sure is. Oh, here we go. This must be the courtroom. Entry is forbidden. Let me through! Marl has the key to the castle. Good citizens, have any of you heard of the royal heirloom known as the Rainbow Shell? I, too, had no idea of its existence, until I laid eyes upon this, that is. I hold before you an ancestral will written by the hand of our own king's distant forebears, if I may. Unveil the rainbow shell to the people at the Millennial Fair, that they might enjoy the blessing of our royal treasure. I have no idea what you're talking about. We have no ancient royal heirlooms here. So, this is an example, another example of Chrono Trigger being a little inconsistent with its time travel rules. Previously, when we've done things to change history and then gone back to the future, the people's memories have also kind of altered because they lived in that timeline. They lived in whatever changed history we brought about. For example, if we talk to NPCs who can see the Black Omen in any time period, they just remark that it's there because it's been there since time immemorial. Whereas in this scene, we've changed history and given the Guardians a family heirloom that they did not have previously, but nobody here knows about it. Nobody knows what the Rainbow Shell is, or remembers that there's a vault, that it's been there for 400 years. It's almost like the timeline just snapped over, and people's memories did not alter along with it. These characters still grew up in that original timeline where the Guardians didn't have the Rainbow Shell, but now suddenly they do. Surely you don't intend to claim this is a forgery? I ask you, good people of the court, why does the defendant deny you a glimpse of this glorious Rainbow Shell? Why, because he no longer owns it. He sold a priceless heirloom of our kingdom for no reason other than his own greed. Witness, if you would please. But, Princess, we're conducting a trial here. Father? Nadia, the Chancellor's trying to frame me. This is where Marl's like, man, sucks to suck. Anyway, peace out. Right? Like, that's that's her response? No, obviously not. She's a better person than I am. Let us not hurl insults. If you are innocent, it should be simple enough to confirm the matter with proof. Proof? Yes, if His Grace has not sold the heirloom, it should remain within the castle. Bring the Rainbow Shell before the court, and his innocence will be beyond question. Not that I expect you will succeed. Chancellor, what kind of trickery is this? Remove them. I always did think it was a little strange that they decided to play the Ocean Palace music during this segment. It's fitting, because the stakes are really high here. I guess they didn't want to put one more song in the soundtrack for this particular scene that would never get used again. So we just reuse Ocean Palace and it's fine. Entry is forbidden, but Marl has the key. Let me through! Oh, but the key doesn't fit. I'm sorry, my lady, not even you may enter. If we can find the Rainbow Shell, we'll be able to prove the king's innocence. What are you talking about? The Chancellor made up the entire thing. There is no heirloom. So here Marl has grown up in a timeline where there's no Guardian treasure. So her own brain must be, like, at odds. It must be conflicted, because she knows about the rainbow shell. She wasn't literally with us, because I never put Marl in the party, but, like, Luca and Magus would have told her about the rainbow shell. Like, she knows that we went on an adventure to find it. Did you forget we changed history back in 600 AD? The rainbow shell should still be in the castle. Aha! The rainbow shell we gave to my ancestor 400 years ago must still be here. Yes, Marl, thank you. Thank you for catching up with the conversation. Let's go find it. It's probably in the basement. Let's go. So yes, you do have to use Marl for this scene, and this is... Thankfully, it's not difficult, as we'll see. It's not a difficult combat scene. Otherwise, Marl would be a hamper on the situation. Ugh, a rat bit my toe. Snake people. The boss is finally gonna settle the score on this 13-generation-old family grudge. Yeah, he's gonna frame the king good with that fake evidence. Gah ha ha. Onomatopoeia. So not only do these creatures resemble the creatures from the cathedral from the very first adventure in the game, but they are literally the same creatures. They are that unbelievably weak. So there is a plot. We'd better hurry. Yes, I bought it from the king. I wasn't sure if I should, but, well, he looked so desperate for the money. Liar! I've never seen you before. Order in the court. The chutzpah on this guy. When he, like, the Chancellor must have sent one of his men around and been like, hey, you want to come to court and testify against the king? And the guy was like, yes, let me put on my red pants. Was I convincing? Perfect. So we've even got Nagas, but everything is down in here is going to go down to one shot. There's absolutely no way the monsters are going to stop us here. Also, not all of these treasure boxes in this room can be opened, because some of them are behind other ones that are unreachable. But the ones that we can reach can be opened, at least. Yeah, we can't get around to the back for those two. But yeah, there is a royal vault. There's keg of what I have to assume is 400-year-old mead, since nobody has been down here in 400 years, apparently. We'll just let Lucas shoot everybody. It'll be fantastic. Of course, we're not getting any TPs or experience down here either, because the enemies are so old and weak. I do have to wonder at why this adventure is structured like this, though, because all of the other Faded Hour adventures have unique monsters of an appropriate strength for this point in the game. I get that they want to tie the storyline here back to the cathedral from the beginning of the game, using the same monsters, the snake people and the Nagas, but using upgraded versions of them would also have been appropriate. They're called palette swaps. The palette is a group of colors, or rather color data, in the programming code of the game. And say, okay, draw these pixels on screen for the sprite, and then each pixel has a position within the sprite, and then has a number that corresponds to which color in the palette it uses. So it's actually very, very easy to change the color of something in a game like this without having to redraw it from scratch. You can just draw the snake once, and then save a couple of different palettes, and then swap the snake around. We've seen that with like the red and green goblin monsters from the early parts of the game. It's also a very easy way to to show animation without having to animate. If you remember back in the day, the Atari 2600, yes, I'm going to have some technical specs about the Atari 2600 before I click on the rainbow shell of my Chrono Trigger Let's Play. You used to see all these like waterfall kind of cycling effects that would cycle from the top to the bottom of the screen, or from the bottom to the top. That was actually done with palette swapping. You didn't actually have to animate a waterfall, just had to cycle through a bunch of different palettes to make it look like the colors were shifting downwards. That animation trick is very, very useful on a system that's not actually strong enough to make the little sparklies rotate around the shell like this one is. So you could use palette swaps of those monsters and made them a little stronger. The rainbow shell. What's this? A letter? To Marl. So Queen Lean even refers to her as Marl. Dearest Marl, I know things are not easy with your father, but though it may be hard to realize now, I know that you will ever be his daughter. Nothing can break the bonds of blood, neither distance nor words of anger. Someday you will leave the nest and have children of your own. Then you will understand the truth of what I say. Blood is the sap that flows through the limbs of a family tree, and come what may in future days, we will forever be joined by that. Queen Guardia 21st, Lean. Knows just what to say, doesn't she? But we have more urgent things to think about. Hang in there, Father. We're coming. Obtained Rainbow Shard. See, she's smart enough to not spend 3 hours dragging the entire shell upstairs, considering it took all the king's horses and all the king's men to get it home in the first place. Members of the jury, it is time for a verdict. If you believe the defendant guilty, stand to the left. Innocent, to the right. It is clever how they managed to reuse all of these assets a second time in the King's trial, from Chrono's trial earlier in the game, because there was a lot of unique assets, both art and music, in that scene, and using them twice is getting more bang for your buck. Because remember, these cartridges didn't have a lot of space on them to store graphic and sound data, so anything you could reuse or anything you could switch to looking new, like with a palette swap, means you kind of can create new content without having to store all the new content as data on the cartridge. I'm sorry, my lady, not even you may enter. You really won't reconsider? No, princess, I really won't. There is one other way. It's a bit rough, but just follow me. A verdict has been reached. 4 votes of guilty to a single of not guilty. The defendant has been found guilty as charged. What's the sentence for a king selling his own property? What crime did he commit? Like, okay, the Rainbow Shell is a royal treasure, but he's the king. Oh no, I guess the stipulation is that he married into the royal family. If Marl is Queen Lean's direct descendant, then Marl's mother... Yeah, he must have married into the family, and the guardian crown always sits on the king, even if he's not of royal blood. So he had no right to sell the treasure. That has to be it, right? Because we know that Marl is Lean's direct descendant through an entirely female line. So all of the kings of Guardia since then have married in. He's got a good mustache, though. A very commanding mustache upon his face that inspires leadership. The line of Guardia has ended. This kingdom shall be mine. Take him away. Wait! Oh, I guess the sentence is that he doesn't get to be king anymore. They're gonna throw him out. Who is it? Father! Dang, that's the most badass thing Marl's done all game. Princess! You're too late. His Grace has been found guilty. Even the king is subject to our laws. No, not when the whole thing was a setup. Nonsense. The king's a crook. He sold... The treasure's right here. Impossible! Give it up, Chancellor. Your little scheme failed. Alright, you gotta stop laughing and just explain yourself, man. You're the ones who'd better give up. If I can't avenge my ancestors the easy way, I'll do it here and now. The hard way. The judge is just pieced out. He's got a trapdoor under his chair. Everybody else in the gallery is just going to hang out and watch. Super Ultra Presto Transform! Oh! I don't know if they sell tickets to courtroom drama in Guardia or what. See, this is a palette swap. When we fought Yakra in the beginning of the game, he was like yellow and gold. Oh, I need to heal Marl. No, that second miasma that he threw at her turned off her confusion. So yeah, we just need to throw Tex at him. We can't... Black Hole's not going to hit, but we can Dark Mist. And we can Flare for sure. Flare is only going to cost 5 MP, so she can cast Flare all day long. So this monster is supposed to be related to Yakra. I think it's Yakra the 3rd. Is it 13th? I guess we just cast Ice with Marl. There's nothing else she can really do. But instead of drawing an all-new creature, they just used the same graphic from the first boss we fought and gave him a new color scheme. Like, instead of drawing a yellow pixel, draw like this bluish-green pixel kind of thing. So they did upgrade the boss for this sequence, just not the rest of the monsters downstairs. But he has all the same frames of animation and most of the same, and some of the same attacks. The original boss did not have a confusion attack. Thankfully, that would have been a real pain in the butt to deal with in like the first dungeon. Marl's gonna win this fight 363 damage at a time. You just watch. He thinks he knows our weakness by hearing about it from his ancestors, but I think he's also about to die here, another flare or two. Oh, yep, I remember this attack. That's some damage. Oh, Luca can't eat another one of those. Needle Spin version 13. Are we all getting one? Oh no, just Luca's getting one. So Marl would have really good healing magic if I had leveled her up like at all, but I haven't, so. Alright, let's get Luca back up. She's the important one. We'll get everybody back up, but Luca's the most important one. I don't think this can hit Magus. I think he's immune to all status ailment. He is. That's cool. Alright, so get the Athenian water back up, and then you use a Lapis. Alright, so everybody's got about 200 to work with, and... who's this gonna hit? Everybody. Ooh! Alright, alright. My man's got some schmoves. I've got Mega Elixirs I can use, though, if I can get people back up and running. There's one thing I've got in abundance. It is Mega Elixirs. Now's a good time to use one, actually. This will be a full heal for everybody, so no matter what he does... I wonder if he's targeting Luca with that, because Luca was originally one of the ones who fought against him back in the day. She can pop a Lapis. I'll use all my Mega Elixirs here if I have to, buddy. I do not care. The real play here is to have Marl leveled up, so she and Luca have like good double techs to use. Or to bring somebody other than Magus who can double tech with Luca really well and put out a lot more damage than what I was doing there. There's all the TPs we wanted. Oh, we got our Mega Elixir back. Nice. He just drops one. Marl leveled up twice. There's a glowy on the ground where the creature died. Father, No, don't say it. I was wrong to be so stubborn. No, I didn't even think about how you must have felt. I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out. It's the same for me. There was a time when I truly thought you were lost to me. Because you went off gallivanting through time with a man who had been charged with abducting you. But when I think about it now, I realize that it was I who abandoned you. But I'm here now. We'll talk about everything from now on. The crowd is still jeering. Like, they're here for it. They're here for the dramatic conclusion. The reconciliation of the king and the princess. I'll ask you for advice and tell you about Chrono and ask you about Mother and explain why Magus is standing here. Your mother, Eliza. I'm ashamed to admit it, but it's taken me until now to understand what she meant with those final words. Someday, when Nadia's older, she'll bring someone she loves to meet you. Welcome the two of them with open arms. It took you this long to figure out what that means? I don't think she was being cryptic. I don't feel like that's a big noodler. She said that would make it a day you would remember forever. You heard her last words? Of course. You were so young you probably don't remember. Remember, previously the Chancellor had lied to the princess and told her that the king was not with her when she died. Of course, we now know it's because he was a monster in disguise. You kept saying, Daddy, I love lots of people, lots and lots. It reassured your mother seeing you so happy. She left us with a smile on her face. So that's how it was. Yes, why? I mean, all in all, it was a pretty good plan. The Chancellor worked really hard to drive this wedge between the king and the princess, and this rainbow shell thing fell into his lap. I mean, why not capitalize on it? I used to call you Daddy? You did. I'm sorry, Daddy, for everything. I'll give you permission to leave the castle, but I expect the utmost caution from you. Yeah, no problem. I'm just gonna hop in a time machine and fly to the apocalypse. I got this, thanks. Keep my daughter safe, he told Magus. Yes, Your Grace. It seems it's my turn to step forward. Melchire. Can't be letting you have all the fun. Let me make some armor from that rainbow shell. So we're not going to sell the royal family heirloom. We're just going to dismantle it and forge it into armor. Finally time for me to do something again. Watch and learn. Oh, okay. I owe you an apology. I'm terribly ashamed of myself. You'll all take good care of Nadia, won't you? So presumably we still have not told the king anything about what we're actually going to do. Well, the first thing we're going to do is kick her out of the party. For the next stage in the game, I think we're going to want Mr. Roboto here. And you know what? He can just keep all of this stuff that he's currently got. That's all good. So. Oh, you know what? I don't want Mr. Roboto in the lead, though. It doesn't matter who's in the lead, really. All the characters play identically if they're in the lead. Obtained Yakra's key, and the peanut gallery is still here. They haven't gone home. They're just cheering and jeering at absolutely nothing. Oh, they repaired the window, at least. Alright, so we have Yakra's key. Which means we open his lockbox now. Oh, goodness! Oh, thank goodness! That beast locked me up in there, and I've been trapped ever since. Wait, I don't have time for this. I must prepare for the Moonlight Parade. So the real Chancellor is free and apparently has his priorities straight. Alright, let's go get our goodies from Melchire. So this is probably the easiest of the Fated Hour adventures. You can't do it immediately. You have to do the prehistoric dungeon first with the Rust Tyranno and all that. That's a pretty difficult dungeon, but this part's pretty easy. But you get the best rewards. The properties of this material are quite unique. I can craft armor from it that will dampen the effects of magical attacks. I can make you one highly effective prismatic dress, or I could make 3 less effective prismatic helms. This is a actually important choice. The helmets he's talking about, well, all of the armor he's talking about gives a lot of magic defense. So if you take the helms, you get 1 for everybody in the party, but they're less effective than if you took the dress. If you took the dress, only 1 person can wear it, and that person has to be Luca, Marl, or Ayla. I guess Chrono has his pride and will not wear women's clothing off on an adventure. Also, I wouldn't imagine Ayla would be happy about putting on a dress either. But I'm going to take the 3 prismatic helms. You want prismatic helms? You're sure? Very well. Wait right there. My work is complete. 3 prismatic helms. Alright. Now these helmets are the best helmets in the game, and it's not even close. Like, look at our numbers right now, and goes up to 86. Putting that on. It's also a big upgrade from just the regular helmet she had on, in terms of defense. And it prevents all status ailments. So, like, whoever's in the party gets the prismatic helms. That's just the new rule from now until the end of time. Magus' defense actually goes down a little bit. His Gloom Helm gives him better defense, but magic defense is much more useful in the big fights to come. So yeah, prismatic helms, we're just going to pop those on whoever's in the party. And I think we're done here. Ah, a Sunstone! Oh, we're not done here, because we have also completed the Sunstone quest. That should do quite nicely. My work is complete. Obtained Prism Spectacles. Haha, don't think that's the last of my bag of tricks. These arms have some use left in them yet. We've done adventures to get 2 sorts of legendary material, the Rainbow Shell and the Sunstone, and Melchire can work both. My work is complete, I said for the 3rd time in as many minutes. Obtain Rainbow. I finally feel like I'm doing something worthwhile. And Rainbow... Well, both of these are very important. Rainbow, first of all, is an incredibly powerful weapon for Chrono. 70% critical hit rate. So his attack power goes up to 215, and 7 out of 10 times he's going to improve that even more by hitting with a critical hit. Just the best sword in the game that he can use. But we've also got these Prism Spectacles. Greatly boost damage. So these are basically the same as the the sunglasses, rather. Except it greatly boosts damage. What do I want to do here? You probably need to keep the speed ring on. You know what? No, I'm going to go ahead and give you the Prism Spectacles. Let's greatly boost your damage. That seems like a good trade-off. Like, his speed goes down, but he does more damage when he does act. Once I've got a speed capsule, looks like I do not. Okay. I forget if Tabin will do anything with the Rainbow Shell. He gave us the Wonder Shot, and he gave us the sunglasses. So the Sunstone was instrumental in making both accessories that just boost damage across the board. But I guess we can go just see Tabin real quick. Hey man, we found a Rainbow Shell, did you hear? Hey Luca! I've been working on some defensive gear for my favorite daughter. Okay, no, he's not going to have anything else. But, if we go upstairs, Luca's mom can get up and walk around! Because the science machine did not eat her feet. What a beautiful day. I think I'll go for a walk once I finish the housework. Her housework is just watering this one plant. So that's an example of we changed history and the relevant memories were also altered to match. There's one more little tiny side quest that we're going to go on here. I've been asked about it a few times in my comments and on my Discord for the video. Oh yeah, Robo's here making the forest whole again. What up, Robo? I do know about this side quest. I wasn't going to go through with it, but because it's kind of out of the way, but I guess we'll do it. And Luke could just flare everything in here. These monsters are from so long ago. So what I'm about to do is called, in the vernacular, is referred to as a guide dang it. Guide dang it! The reason it's called that is, I think we just punch these guys, right? Like these, if you remember this monster here, we had to burn his hammer away before we could do appreciable damage to him, but I think Robo, with the prism specs... Nope, we still probably have to burn his hammer away to do appreciable damage to him. That's a good hammer. Even the majesty of the rainbow shell was not enough to get through him. Alright, fair enough. We have the most powerful fire spell in the game. So back in the day, and this goes all the way back in the day, like all the way back to the 80s or earlier. Man, not early. There's no earlier in this context. Because we're talking about video games. Before the 80s, there really weren't video games in a manner of speaking. It wasn't... I mean, the big arcades all came out in the early 80s. I guess you had, like, Pong for your TV. And I think the Atari VCS was 79? You would know better than I would, actually, what year the Atari 2600 went on sale. Alright, Luca. Flare them. But... there's a concept that's become known as the guide dang it, and this is something in a game that you could not possibly know exists. A secret or a cheat code or a hidden character or something that you cannot possibly know exists unless you had read the strategy guide. And they put these kinds of things in games to this day specifically to sell strategy guides. So okay, over there is a monster who's throwing rocks at us. And if we're on this ladder... maybe it's this ladder. Yeah, this guy here, he's throwing rocks at us. What a dick, right? If we're on this ladder and he hits us with a rock... I thought it would knock us off the ladder. Maybe Luca's too high level. She's like, man, I invented magical glue gloves. But okay, if we put Frog in the party... he catches the rock... you're no match for me, freelancer. The rock glows in Frog's hand. Obtained golden gemstone. I am no longer the frog I was before. There's no possible way you could learn where this item is. Because this guy throws rocks at you on your first pass through this dungeon. Like, he's here all the time. And if it hits anybody except for Frog... nothing happens, and I don't think it's clued anywhere in the game. You just have to already know it's there. See, I do know about this little quest. I wasn't going to do it, but let's just use the Master Mune triple tech. I don't know who's involved in that triple tech, though. I guess I would have to kind of guess. Robo and Ayla, maybe? Because only Frog can equip it. Triple attack. Marl, perhaps? Anyway, it's a triple tech that is not very useful and we're not actually going to be using. We're just going to go back to our Omega Flare party for now. Oh, speaking of which, we actually do need to put on the Omega Flare gemstone. You know what? You can wear it. The blue gemstone. give it to Luca. But yeah, I would have to look up, again, I'd have to be a guide, dang it, because I don't know who's involved in that triple tech. But we have it now, if we did want to use it. And that might be the only major guide, dang it, in this game, though. I can't think of anything else that's that obscure. But yeah, they put stuff like that in games. So you buy a game and you're just accustomed to also buying the strategy guide, because otherwise there's stuff that you wouldn't know about. This game did come out in 1995, so the internet was already kind of a thing. Like, you could already go online and learn about stuff, but there's stuff that even the guides don't find sometimes. Final Fantasy IX, which was a PlayStation 1 game. This game came out, I think, in 2000. But it has a pretty notorious side quest. At the very end of the game, in the final dungeon, if you leave the final dungeon and go back to one of the earlier towns in the game, there's a little cutscene. There are some brothers, some characters that were important much, much earlier in the plot, but you haven't talked to in probably 30 hours. Like, their long-lost brother has come home. And like, hey, brother, welcome home. It's like, oh, it's good to be back. And that's it. That's the whole scene. And everybody knew about that scene because you saw it just anytime you went back to that town, right? But I guess we'll go to the end of time now. I want to check on Spkyo. But what the internet found out, like 20 years later, not quite 20 years, 11 or 12 years, I want to say, is if you repeatedly leave the final dungeon and go back to that town, like a new family member will show up and be like, oh, I'm home. Oh, it's good to be back. And then if you do that 9 or 10 times, you get like a magic item. And nobody knew this existed. It wasn't in the guides back in the day. Oh, Spkyo's looking pretty buff. What do you want? You looking for some practice? All right. Are we going to need a dedicated healer? I don't think so, because we've got the Prism Helm. Oh, I did not give Robo my Prism Helm, did I? Because his magic defense is still pretty bad. Okay. Not worth using a Mega Elixir against Spkyo. If he kills us, it won't actually result in a game over, but we probably do need to hit him with Omega Flare to be able to take him out. So I think Robo will give him his speed belt back for this one fight. Unless Magus is just going to solo the things. Magus' magic defense is like 95. Yeah, man, that's just not enough damage. Don't even know what that is. Weird circle orb. Hehehe, I win! That was with the Prismatic Helm. 800 damage with it. His magic defense is only 65. Can I buff that with any accessory? I can get it to 75. Let's go to 75. Let's give you the Prism Spectacles. And you the blue gemstone. You know what? No, I'm overthinking this. Watch this. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put the Aussie pants on Robo for now. I'm going to give Chrono the Prismatic Helm. And you know what? We better give you the sunglasses and Chrono the Prism Spectacles. Yeah. And then we'll swap Chrono into the party. First time he's been in the party for a minute. Let's just do this with Flare and Luminaire, I think. And I guess Magus will just throw Lapises. Because Chrono will survive these attacks better than Robo did. Yeah, that's not nearly as much damage. So... I still might be a little bit too low level. Because he got 2 attacks off before I queued anything up. I could use Barrier, but it only targets one person. That also increases magic defense. But this version of Spkyo is one of the hardest bosses in the game by far. Yeah, that Dark Mist spell is just not worth using. It's just not enough damage. 600 damage, there was a point in the game where that would have been everything, but it is not this day. And he is fast as well. Fast and strong. That's just an instant death spell, I guess. Neat. That weird rainbow orb thing that he uses. What are my other options? I don't really have any other options. I just kind of need Chrono to survive that first hit. I could go up to 84 with Dark Mail. I'm looking at magic defense, because that's all he uses is magic attacks. You're at 95, you're good. You can go up to 91 with a Luminous Robe. And then we have the plate we could put on that each absorbs one kind of damage, but doesn't give us any just regular magic defense. Let's try this. So there's his opener. That's... Chrono's doing a little better surviving that now. Should I use a barrier sphere on him? What's Luminaire gonna do? Let's just start with this. Ugh. That was only 177. Oh, but he's gonna die from this. The barrier sphere will increase his magic defense a little more. But Chrono's underleveled compared to my other characters now because we've done all the endgame adventures with everybody else. You know what? I'm going to use all these Mega Elixirs. I just said I'm not going to, but I am going to. That's a resource we don't get back if we lose this fight, though. So... Alright, we're going to barrier Chrono. I wonder how high we can get Robo's magic defense. Because Robo is a healer, and with Robo in the party we can use Omega Flare. Which should be a lot more damage than what we're getting out of this team. The problem is Robo's very slow, and Omega Flare takes up everybody's turn. So she's just dead. Now she's back. Lucas should take half damage from this anyway because she's fire element. And she survives, good. Oh, she's dead now though, isn't she? No, she's still alive, good. Okay, so Lapis, Flare. Illuminati. If we can just keep Magus on top of throwing healing items at Luca, we may yet pull this out. And if I have to use a second Mega Elixir, I'll do it. I can always just go back and get more Mega Elixirs. It's not like they run out. Okay, so she's dead. I think it is worth using the Mega Elixir here, actually. We're keeping Chrono alive, though, because he's got that barrier up. If Magus gets another free turn... So Chrono will take half damage from this, because he's light element. Yes. So that gives me a chance to put barrier on Luca. Oh no! She's dead again. Alright. She's dead again. Oh, you know what? Chrono has a raise spell. I wonder if that'll bring her back with more than 50 hit points. Use a Lapis. Magus is actually pretty safe for most of these attacks. His magic defense is just so good. This brings her back with a little more health. 250. That she'll survive one thing, I think. Let's see if we can get a barrier on her. Are we good? We're good. We get 400 health back from these two Lapises. Alright, now two of us are barriered. You're going to use another Lapis to take the bite out of this lightning spell. Now he's got to worry about his instant death rainbow orb attack. That's the one. That'll do it, pig. I think Luca's dead from this again. What do I want to do here? I want to use an Athenian water on Luca, then a Mega Elixir. If we run out of Mega Elixirs, we can just go back to the cave and get a few more from those ape monsters. It's been a few rounds since we've been able to just attack this creature. Alright, barrier on Luca. He's using ice. We'll get some spells off here. The real sting is going to be if we still lose this fight, the Mega Elixirs that we use are just gone. They're just gone. You do not get them back. They are a finite resource at the moment. It'd go a little easier if Magus had his more powerful spell, which he doesn't. He doesn't have his super powerful Dark Matter spell yet. Oh, we win. Thank goodness. That was hard fought. Oh me, oh my. That was embarrassing. Guess you, ain't so bad after all. Here, this is for you. Gratuity set. Magic capsule, speed capsule, strength capsule, and 10 elixirs. What can I say? I'm the master of war. Okay. Take off that stuff because you're not coming with us. Robo can now take the Aussie pants off of his head. I think he needs to wear the speed ring. Who has the speed ring? Oh, I gave it to Chrono. Why did you have it? Anyway. Oh, I just accidentally gave it to you and I took the prism specs off, that's why. So, speed ring, and you could put on prism spectacles, and you could put on blue gemstone. You were wearing the blue gemstone in the fight. We could have given you the speed ring, I guess, and made that a little easier on us, but that's done now. And we've got new capsules. And I'm just going to give all these to Robo, I think. sure. Alright, that's taken care of. Spkyo is now Dunsky Doodles. Well, he's not, actually. There's one more form of Spkyo that's even more powerful, but they determine what Spkyo looks like and what attacks and stuff he'll use during the battle by taking, I think, the average of your party's levels. So the higher level you are, the more powerful he gets. If everybody is at the maximum level, which I'm pretty sure is 99... He has one more form beyond that. There's the Genodome. I am familiar with this place. Please allow me to take the lead. Oh, okay. I guess Robo has to be in the lead for this dungeon. Sure thing, buddy. You know what? Actually, I don't want you to have the prism specs. I do want you to have your golden stud, because we're going to do a lot of flare in here, I think. Whose speed is higher? Robo's? Robo's speed is higher than Luca's. I should have given that speed capsule to Luca. Okay, then you take... Speed 9... No, Luca's speed is... Her natural speed is better. His speed was only that high because he had the speed ring. Okay, then yeah, this is what I want. Let us in! Who enters my sanctum unbidden? My. Welcome home, R66Y. Or should I say, Prometheus. And behind you, fleshlings? I have not seen creatures of flesh for many a day. Let me welcome them. Come within. It's always bad news when the computer laughs at you. Oh, we're locked in now, baby. We're not going home. Let's see just what capabilities they possess. Something obvious thing. We're just gonna flare for days while these robot spiders dance on the Dark Lord's corpse. Almost looks as though she's using Robo as a catalyst for her flare spell there, just because he's in the center of the screen. 16 TP. So we should get a decent-ish amount of TP in here. And hopefully cap off Magus's final attack. No matter how impressively awesome a spell attack animation looks, you do get tired of looking at it after a time. And that's going to be the difficulty with Flare in this dungeon, because we're going to see a lot. It's essentially free. It's cost 5 magic points with that golden stud equipped. We can cast it all day long. Robo has his most powerful attack. I think he's got his electrocute attack. But this is like his Faded Hour dungeon, and I saved this one for last because I think it's the most obnoxious of the Faded Hour side quests. But I had to think whether I want Luca or Robo to spam their powerful attack here. Robo's is a lot weaker, because he has not been eating magic capsules on his Cheerios the entire game. But if he was naturally faster than Luca and she needed the speed ring... I don't think it's going to be a difficult dungeon. Like, nothing in here is going to be as difficult as the version of Spkyo we just fought, but it helps to be prepared. With any luck, we will be rolling in the TP before it's all over. Lots of barrier and shield spheres, which I think we actually will put to use before the dungeon is over. Not bad for humans. I'll be looking forward to greeting you. Alright, We are now in the Genodome, and there is crazy stuff happening in the Genodome. Prometheus, of course, if you're not up on your Greek mythology, is the mythological figure who was gifted with foresight? Yeah, because his brother Epimetheus was gifted with aftersight. 300 years ago, the Lavos disaster brought drastic and devastating change to this planet. At its current rate of decline, humanity is doomed. The disease you call despair already consumes you from within. Alright, so my man, the green robot friend with one eyeball, is guarding the little marshmallow doll. Good to know. Alright, what's up here? Come back into this room. Nope, laser defense system. It opened up. I guess we'll just pop this electrocute. So the benefit of electrocute is I think all robots are weak to its effects. Which means it must be lightning elemental. I feel like I checked this before and was surprised to learn that it was. Yeah, it's lightning elemental. Because he's got a fire elemental spell and then a shadow elemental spell as well. Ah, there's another doll. Oh, and some switches. Oh, I didn't know that was going to work. I was just hitting random switches. Okay. So this little nodule is open now, but we can't do anything with it. And there's another marshmallow doll in there. I'm assuming somewhere in the dungeon we'll find a note that says which switches to flip. I was just hitting random ones. Whoops. I mean, there's only a few possible states. You can run through all the possible states of 3 two-state switches in less than a minute. But no, there will almost certainly be a clue somewhere in the dungeon that will point out what to do. This costs 17 magic points when Robo does this. By which I mean get tackled repeatedly. And we're going to be using most of his tech points for healing. He's our main healer still, because Robo just can do anything. He's a great all-purpose character. He's strong. You just need to make him fast. Then he's excellent. There's a high potion in the box. In fact, I'm going to throw a heal beam at the peoples. So there's a little nodule here. Oh, it charges us up. Aha. And now I think if we run up to this, it opens the door. Because when Robo is charged with electricity that kind of chases him around, he can open up the doors. Now, I have this thing, for whatever reason. I can open that up as well. Okay, so this is where we get our charge. And then we take our charge down here and pop the doors that are connected to the little nodules. In fact, I'm pretty sure this will explain everything. We can access information on Genodome via this terminal. What shall I pull up first? About doors. The energy pods beside locked doors must be charged before such doors will open. Energize first in the pod to your left, and then enter the pod next to a locked door. Anything else? Tell me about conveyor belt. The conveyor belt to the right can be reversed by means of the switch located in the room beyond. Anything else? Tell me about sentinels. The sentinels protecting the figurines move to thwart the progress of any who approach. Consequently, allowing 2 sentinels to face one another will cause both to short circuit. In the unfortunate event that this should occur, please deposit the disabled sentinels in the room upstairs. Anything else? Tell me about marshmallow figurines. The 2 figurines on this floor are required for those desiring an audience with mother brain. Do not remove them without permission. Anything else? Nope, I think that covers it. So it's a puzzle dungeon. There's lots of little weird, gimmicky, puzzly things to kind of figure out. They're telling us that this Sentinel guy, if we put another Sentinel in front of him, he'll short circuit. We know how to get into this room now. No, I don't want to go back to the entrance. We do need to reverse this conveyor belt at some point. Let's check out this room. Oh, it looks like it's just a treasure room. But upon trying to take the treasure, he was ambushed by robots. But robots burn, because they're made of paper, so it's fine. Yeah, we may or may not use the barrier spheres that we're picking up in a later fight. There's an elixir in this room, and a lapis in this room. And I don't think these pods do anything. What have I been calling them? Nodules? That's not even a word. So I can run across the conveyor belt, but not very quickly. And the problem is, to get into this door, I would need to charge it, right? But the charge doesn't last long enough. So we can grab charge. No, the charge is up here. We can grab charge. We can move our way back. This is why you need Robo in the beginning of this dungeon, because anybody else would just electrocute themselves stepping into the pod, I guess. But now that we're running up the conveyor belt... the charge will time out before we get here, so we can't actually get into this room. So we do need to reverse the conveyor belts. Probably needs to be the first thing that we do. That robot went through the wall! Wacky Shack. So, looks like that switch will reverse the conveyor belt, but there's a laser in the way. We can't just jump the laser or crawl underneath it. But if we take this passage... Oh, that's at the elevator downstairs. I don't think we want to go downstairs yet. If we take this passage, this is a door we haven't been through yet. Oh, this is just a treasure room. Obtained high potion. Obtained 50,000 gil. That's a lot of money. Alright, I guess we do want to take this room then. Elevator go up. Still in the faded hour. More laser pods. Well, we know what to do with laser pods, am I right? I mean, actually, we could probably just do this. To great effect. Yeah, because these things are just weak to lightning anyway. But his Lightning 2 spell is still more expensive to cast than Luca's Flare spell when she has that golden stud. Dang! Robo got some hang time. What? More lasers. Yeah, it takes a second for Luca to get her turn. Because she doesn't have that speed ring. I'm thinking about just giving her the speed ring, just so she can start the battle with everybody else. And then, oh, if I give her the speed ring, though, she doesn't have cheap flares. I've got to choose, because they're both an accessory slot. I think one of those little pods just lasered another one and then caused it to explode on us. Well, let's cause all of them to explode. What say? No more laser defense turrets. In this room, at least. This looks like it's our goal. So, we've got the first little marshmallow doll. I guess we can't place it until we've got both, though. Oh, no. It needs to go in the right socket. So, the first marshmallow doll has been plugged in. The second one we need to do some finagling with the sentinels to get. There's more gil just hanging around. Oh, it's Peoples. What in the world? We have to save them! Oh, goodness. I will stop the machines. It is no use. There are multiple layers of protection. Destroying the mother brain mainframe is our only hope. So, the mother brain is the villain of this scenario. So I have to leave and come back to get another... There he is. So this Peoples, she's got them on this conveyor belt, screaming in that machinery, and they come out as capsules. So how many of those creatures... Creatures, they're people, not creatures, my goodness. The question is, like, how many is she going to transmogrify before we can solve the puzzle of this place? Okay, so there's nothing else we can do up here, I don't think? Oh, we can go into the center laser room. Yes, yes. And get another Mega Elixir. And a magic capsule. Which I am going to give... Turbo. This goes back downstairs, right? Yeah, that's the elevator room. So up here... A strength capsule, which I'm going to give to Robo. Robo gets everything. Do you not realize, were it not for the existence of you creatures... Oh, see? Now she's calling humans creatures. This planet would be at peace. Demonstrably not true. Because Lavos had nothing to do with humanity. And yet you struggle and fight. For what? We're not just any humans, though, because we have... You know what? Magus, you have the most magic points. Just go ahead and shock them. So this elevator should bring us down in the back half of the facility. We can sneak through here, through the hidden passage. This reverses the conveyor belt. Good. Oh, there's the other sentinel that we need. One more laser defense. Oh, no. I thought when one laser defense pod shoots another one, it would cause them to explode, but that one just got shot and didn't explode. Maybe there's two kinds of laser defense pods with different AI subroutines. But okay, now we can go back down the conveyor belt. We can go get our charge again. I'm going to walk around. You know, I'm going to kill this guy. I don't want him in my way when I come back through here with charge. Yeah, Luca is not getting a lot of use out of that golden stud. And you know what? We've got so many ethers and such. I'm just going to give her the prism specs, I think. Alright, so now we can get charge. And now we'll be able to make it all the way to the door because the conveyor belt is going the proper way. And if this takes a few tries, you know it takes a few tries. Only took me one try. And I've activated Sentinel Friend. Oh, Sentinel Friend is following me. Okay, come on, Sentinel Friend. Oh, you know what? You can just walk down the conveyor belt, right? Yeah, no difficulty. I thought I might have to reverse the conveyor belt a second time. But no, Sentinel Friend is just getting stuck on the wall. Like, his AI subroutines are not completely up to spec. I think I see why why this particular one has been decommissioned. I could just walk. I walk faster than him. He's going to be off screen in a second. I don't want to risk the fact if he gets drawn off screen, he might just cease to exist. Alright, so they short-circuited. So I've got a Vigilance hat, which doesn't matter what it does, because it doesn't do what the Prism hats do. But now, with my second doll... I think we'll just use a shelter. There's a save point down here that I'm going to want. We can just pop a shelter real quick. Yeah, right here. Because there's 2 bosses in this area, and I think we're about to fight the first. It's Girl Robo. Welcome home, Prometheus. Atropos. Yes, it's been some time, hasn't it? Come and join me. There's no need to pretend you're on their side anymore. Pretend? So whatever Atropos is saying here, like, Robo has literally been reprogrammed. Like, Luca has futzed around in his brain. So whatever Atropos says here is not applicable to Robo anymore anyway. Unlike the other R-Series units, Prometheus was given a special task. To live with humans and study them as a species. That's a lie. It's no lie. Tell them, Prometheus. His memory banks have literally been decommissioned. First for like 300 years, when we found him in the Protodome. Then for another 400 years as he was planting that forest. Step aside now, Prometheus. We'll eliminate these humans and go see Mother. Robo? Nope! What are you doing, Prometheus? I will not allow you to hurt them. You've been damaged then. They must have tampered with you. Yup, that happened. I'll destroy them, and then I can fix you. Atropos, you have changed. You are not the robot I knew before. No, I've been upgraded. Mother remade me to eliminate humans more efficiently. Step aside, Prometheus. My name is Robo. Prometheus! Please, wait. Stand back and leave this to me. Alright, one-on-one fight. This is why I was thinking I might use shield and barrier spheres here to increase his defense. It's going to depend on what kind of damage Atropos puts out on me here. I guess we'll see what kind of damage we get from Electrocute versus Rapid Fire Fists. Because this is an area of effect spell. This hits everything on screen. And it's 1200 versus the Rapid Fire Fist, which is single attack. And sometimes single attacks are just stronger against single targets. But this one's not, because Rapid Fire Fist is also a bit old. He's learned Proximity Bomb and Electrocute since then. But I'm sorry, I'm wearing a Prism Helm, so just nothing you're going to do is going to harm me. Yeah, Electrocute it is. But I like how she basically uses all of Robo's text. I'm going to put my status window in the top, because I feel like it's kind of covering up the action down there. Yeah, she can Heal Beam, she can Robo Tackle, or I guess Atropos Tackle. I might have to Heal Beam in a minute here. If I go below 400, I think. I doubt she's got anything that's going to do 400 damage to me. There's her Rapid Fire Fists. I have no magic points left. Well, okay, we're going to use an Elixir. I got plenty of those. That's a full heal for one person. And now I can go back to electrocuting. There's her Proximity Bomb. I think she just has his entire tech list. But all of those techs hit magic defense. They're all magic attacks. They're not literally magic spells, because they don't have little stars in their names like Chrono's and Luca's and Marl's do, but the Prism Hat gives such high magic defense that everything she can do is just ineffective. Prometheus, it's been some time, hasn't it? Atropos? I'm damaged? What happened? Atropos. My memory banks. I must have... Yes, when Mother overwrote my old programs, I backed up my memory. I'm sorry, Prometheus. Save your energy. I'll repair... You cannot. Core systems failing. Power to memory banks critical. Atropos. You can recover from any computer malfunction, but if the hard drive gets wiped, I want you to have this. You can plug it into your circuits. Please take care of it. Goodbye, Prometheus. Dead. Atropos' ribbon raises Robo's speed by 3 and magic defense by 10. Now would be a good time to take Robo back to fight Spkyo and use him. Oh, you know what? Maybe that was my plan when I sat down to record. Because I was going to Omega Flare Spkyo, but I wasn't expecting Spkyo to do 800 damage. But this is why Spkyo is doing 800 damage, because Robo just gets stat increases here. Okay. So it's not a thing I have to equip, it's just something that happens. Like, it's not an item in our inventory here. There is a ribbon here, but that's a different ribbon. That's the one that Morrow came with in the beginning of the game. Ribbon is actually a very loaded word, because Chrono Trigger is not technically a Final Fantasy game, but in the Final Fantasy series, many of which are Chrono Trigger's contemporaries. Chrono Trigger is kind of like the 4th game in the 16-bit RPG series on the Super Nintendo. It's like Final Fantasy 4, 5, 6, Chrono Trigger. Those are like the baseline Squaresoft RPGs of the era that all of the other RPGs of the era were trying to emulate. So when you see the word ribbon in a Final Fantasy game, it's really exciting because a ribbon is a thing that prevents all status ailments. It's a very powerful piece of protective gear. But in this game, it's just a ribbon. Unless it's Atropos' ribbon, in which case it raises Robo's magic defense. Look at his speed now, though, is 15. He does not need the speed ring anymore. We're going to give the speed ring to you. Because your speed is still 12 without it. And yours can go up to 13. Yeah. We've got prism spectacles, we've got blue gemstone. I'm ready for whatever's beyond this horrible, horrible door. Listen well, flawed and fragile flesh spawn. Lavos' children will one day return to the stars to seek out new planets, new sources of sustenance. When that day comes, this planet will have its chance to heal, so long as there are no humans to interfere. We robots will establish a new world order, a unified nation of steel and pure logic, a utopia free of sadness and suffering. Evolution has chosen us. We are the seeds of the next generation. Your species is obsolete. Cease your foolish struggle and surrender yourself to the fate of all failed creations. You know what? Sounds good. I'll leave you to it. Sounds good to me. I would like to point out that this game predates The Matrix by a few years. Both marshmallow dolls are in place. And now, the Mother Brain, who is pretty freaky looking. So, you managed to reach me. I am the Mother Brain of this RY series factory. Come, Prometheus. Allow me to restore your logic. I'll reset your circuitry and clear your cached memories. Then we can dispose of those filthy humans together. Why are humans always filthy? Oh, and by the way, this animation effect on this creature, this is an excellent example of a palette switch happening. Every few frames it's switching the palette to make it look like she's got this like shiny animated effect, when really it's the same graphic being drawn with different colors. On one frame the red is drawn on the outside, then it's drawn on the next band, and then the next band, then the next band, then in the center of her wings there, and it just repeats that cycle. So you get this really kind of trippy effect that was very popular on the Atari 2600, which really didn't have any other options for background animation. I must apologize. I cannot permit you to do that. My memories are too valuable to be deallocated, and so are my friends. Magus, the Dark Lord, is my friend. That's never gonna not be funny to me. You would betray me to side with these humans. You would turn against all of robot kind. Humans have taught me a great deal. Chrono, Marl, Luca, Frog, who is... I cannot stress this enough. Definitely not a human. And Ayla. Not Magus. Magus has not taught me anything. I want to see the future that they bring about. Oh. What's funny is if Mother Brain is a being of pure logic, like if we just explain our time travel plot, she might go along with it. If she wants to see this like utopian society. Well, she herself is the flawed product of a post-Lavos world, so maybe it's not in the cards. Don't make me laugh, Prometheus. You don't need a lot of help laughing. You just seem to laugh at the drop of a hat. There's no future for the humans. I'll show you how little hope you have. So her displays back there heal her. So we have to destroy the displays first. And we're going to do that by using the strongest tech in the game. I'm not really worried about this monster doing any kind of major damage to us because we've got Prism Helms and Robo has his healing magic. So we've wiped the displays clean. Mother Brain running wild without displays. Well, yeah, that's the strongest thing she has. I'm just not scared of it. And that's it, 2 Omega Flares. Bring it home, boys. Prometheus, why? Obtained Teraton Arm and Crisis Arm. All factory operations have been permanently taken offline. None of the machines here will ever be reactivated. Robo. Alright, let us continue. So we got new goodies for Robo. So the first thing we got is this Crisis Arm. Last digit of own HP determines damage. So this is just kind of a gimmick weapon. I think, like right now, the last digit in his hit points is 4. Which I think will give the Crisis Arm about half of its possible power. If this last digit is 9, it's an incredibly powerful weapon. Or maybe that's flipped. Maybe it has the last digit has to be a 1. The problem is there's not a good way to control what the last digit of your hit points is. And there's no way to switch weapons in the middle of a battle. So, making good use of this arm, I'm not really sure how to do it. Unless... No, when you get revived, you come back with 50 hit points. So the last digit would be 0, which I'm sure isn't any good. But because you can't really, with that much granularity, manipulate what your hit points are going to be on a given turn when enemies are continually damaging you and you're healing the damage back, and because you can't swap the weapon in if your hit points happen to be on a good digit, it's effectively random whether the Crisis Arm is going to be good or not. But we do have the Teraton Arm, which is just a powerful 150 attack weapon. And we can put that one to good use. The last thing we need to do is return back to the end of time and get a heal. And I think that's going to be the end of the Fated Hour. You wish to fight Lavos, correct? Many paths lie before you. And he tells you about how we can get to Lavos. Glimpses, albeit vague, of events, people and places that will empower you, all of which we've done now. Speak to your companions. Some among you will know the figures behind the events which I have seen, but we've done them all. So all that's left now is the end of the game. The final dungeon. We can't use this party for the final dungeon. We're going to be switching our party up, but we're going to do that in the next video. I can't tell if Robo's standing on the save spot or not, because he's too fat. Luca, it's easy to tell, because he's real skinny and she has little feet. Always let people with the smallest feet lead the way. I think Sun Tzu said that.